On July 20, 1969, the world witnessed Neil Armstrong's first steps on the moon. His words, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," became a symbol of human achievement. Yet, few know that the Apollo program didn't end there. Following Apollo 11, NASA continued its lunar missions. Apollo 12 through 17 brought back samples and expanded our knowledge of the moon. However, the last three missions, Apollo 18, 19, and 20, were cancelled, or so we're told. Rumors persist that Apollo 18 did happen, but it was classified, its details hidden from the public eye. In December 1974, a covert mission, Apollo 18, was launched under the cover of secrecy. The crew, Commander Nathan Walker, Lunar Module Pilot Benjamin Anderson, and Command Module Pilot John Gray, had a mission unlike any other. Officially, they were tasked with deploying surveillance equipment. Unofficially, they were stepping into a nightmare. The launch was routine. As the spacecraft neared the moon, the crew's unease grew. Communication was plagued by interference. Static, odd clicks, and low hums distorted their transmissions. Yet, they pressed on, landing on the moon's surface. Walker and Anderson, after setting up equipment, began noticing anomalies. Their radios emitted strange noises, and something felt wrong, though neither could pinpoint why. Soon after, they discovered something that sent a chill through them: a crashed Soviet lunar descent module. There was no official record of such a mission. Inside, they found the remains of a cosmonaut, his helmet cracked and face twisted in terror. Blood smeared the cabin, but there was no sign of his partner. Footprints led away from the crash, vanishing into the desolate landscape. "What happened here?" Anderson asked, his voice tight with fear. Walker didn't answer. His attention was drawn to the horizon, where something seemed to shift in the shadows. As they investigated further, Walker began acting strangely. He stared off into the distance for long periods, then started complaining of headaches, pain that grew unbearable. His behavior became erratic. One night, he attempted to open the hatch of the lunar module, screaming that something was outside. "We have to leave," Walker shouted. "They're here. We can't stay." Anderson struggled to calm him down. Walker's fear was contagious, but Anderson tried to stay focused. Despite the tension, they continued the mission, though Walker's condition worsened. He began claiming that something had infected him, something inside his suit, crawling under his skin. It wasn't long before they made another discovery: strange web-like structures growing near the Soviet crash site. Anderson realized these weren't ordinary. They were alive, alien in nature. Walker, by now deeply paranoid, became convinced he had been infected by these creatures. "I can't feel my legs," Walker said, his voice filled with dread. "They're inside me." Anderson, horrified, watched as Walker's skin began to change. His body was transforming, overtaken by the alien presence. Desperate to survive, Anderson made a break for the Soviet module, hoping it had enough power to get him off the moon. But Walker, no longer fully himself, attacked him, consumed by the alien infection. Their struggle was brutal, and as they fought, small spider-like creatures emerged from the lunar surface. These beings, alien and hostile, swarmed over Walker, ending his life in moments. Anderson, barely escaping, launched himself into orbit aboard the Soviet module. But as he ascended, he realized the nightmare wasn't over. Some of the creatures had followed him on board. "This is Ben Anderson," he reported, his voice shaking. "Do not bring me back to Earth. I repeat, do not bring me back." Anderson's final transmission was cut off, lost in static. The U.S. government classified the mission as a failure, listing the crew as casualties. Officially, Apollo 18 never existed. Unofficially, the truth is far more terrifying. What did they find on the moon? And what else could be waiting for us out there? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and comment below. What do you think really happened on the moon?